Okay, so it's day two, January 6th, 8 o'clock p.m. I am just making my second video blog on my March 31st goals. So I'm going to share that with you. Just to reiterate them, my goal is to have a six pack by March 31st, and it's not so much about the six pack as it is evidence of effective dietary changes, which includes less drinking. It's also an evidence of fitness improvements and regular exercise. So that's basically a measure. That's why I put it there. It simplifies the goal. Secondarily, I'm going for no alcohol for 90 days, basically till March 31st. This might not be exactly 90 days as of the 5th, but it'll be close enough. And the reason for doing that is I have a lot of mental strain in terms of my business development because it's growing and there's a lot to work out in terms of process development and solutioning for customers and putting out fires and stuff as things go on. So I need mental effectiveness and I want to increase it. So reducing alcohol has a direct impact on that. It also reduces the physical drain on my body because alcohol weakens your body in terms of drawing, well, basically consuming nutrition that would otherwise be used for other purposes, but it gets sucked into helping process alcohol in the liver. So that is another reason for doing it. It's going to help my body feel better and be stronger, which will feed back into my mental effectiveness and not distract me with physical pains or inflammation. Again, the other thing is support for getting a six pack. Drinking less will reduce estrogenic expression or whatever, which with men, if you drink regularly, you can develop more fat because of that, because it um, just increases estrogen dominance or whatever. Not all across the board, just it makes it stronger than it should be in a man in terms of hormonal effects. 12 books read is another goal, and it's based on continuous improvement as well as helping generate new ideas and perspectives to help me serve my clients better. I think if I'm going to be a consultant and provide services and sales, I need to be on top of my game in terms of understanding business, sales, finances, just markets and economics in general, as well as just to have creative skills developed, which might not be directly sales education. I want to get to 10 clients by the end of Q1 or by March 31st. And right now I've got five. I have one client that's become somewhat challenging, but it's mostly because there's a difficult RFP that I have to get through, which is bottlenecking me in terms of my ability to serve all my clients as well as I'd like. Ultimately, I want to be taking 20K from my business and income by the time I have 10 clients. And that would be over and above expenses for subcontractors and technologies. So it's the goal there. I have a goal of making my daughter know basic arithmetic, which means having an awareness and familiarity with division, multiplication, and subtraction and addition. She's pretty strong with addition and subtraction, but it's not her strongest subject, so we're going slow. We'll see how far we get, but I think I can make that happen by the end of the quarter. Additionally, I want to get some grammar and spelling skills developed, just fundamentals. Her handwriting is getting better, but it's still not that great. So getting her handwriting to be legible, letters correctly written, uppercase and lowercase mastery, that would be key. Piano book one, it's a particular book that we have. I haven't started it very much. I haven't really gone through it at all. So that's a little bit behind, but that is something I want to have completed with her, regardless of how well she plays piano at that point. I want her to have read three textbooks, which right now she's on Earth Science by a brand called Apologia. Um, so I want her to have finished three textbooks and have made a note or made some notes on what she's read as she went through it. This is ultimately just a progress point for her homeschooling that I'd be happy to see. I would like to achieve 75K in gross revenue for Q1, or by March 31st specifically. And that requires most likely a fair amount of commission happening in Q1 that is cash collected. So it's pretty aggressive, but across 10 clients, as I add five more and as some deals close with the existing five, I think it's definitely attainable. But again, it requires all these other things coming together, like me getting healthier, me staying fit, me not having mental detriments like alcohol or lack of sleep, etc., or stress not that's not managed well. So it's going to take a lot, but that's another one that's here on the docket. And then I also want to cook once a week. The purposes of that are to serve my wife better. She like cooks most of the dinners. I help feed the kids throughout the day while she's at work, but I'd like to develop my cooking abilities so it's easier for me to make a nice meal for the family and take some pressure off of her for that once in a while. I also want to have better skills to feed my kids better food for their health. So it's not just, the easy packaged foods once in a while or just smoothies, for example, and, eggs and bacon, that kind of thing. Not that that's super healthy, but this is what I'm going for. And yeah, currently today I felt pretty good. I haven't been hankering for having a drink or anything, which sometimes happens. It's just from being in the habit of having a drink or two per day, makes it hard to say no sometimes. Um, the fitness has been fine. I'm doing like three major workouts per week, and then the other days are just yoga for recovery and activity and flexibility. Um, I'm gonna read my book a little more tonight, and tomorrow I have a big frog to swallow, and that is I got to review the RFP in great detail and make some serious headway to show my client, one of my newest clients, that I'm able to handle this stuff if I have to. And um, I think it'll be a good relationship building effort as well as be positive in terms of helping the opportunity go forward and close. So that's the main thing that's kind of on top of on my mind. Additionally, I'm focused on handling some lead research and lead gen challenges for another client that's a software development firm. And then the other company I've got is looking pretty good for Q1 in terms of deals that should close, and net new opportunities that I'm developing for them. However, there's still some unknowns when it comes to the process to close opportunities, uh, so that we are more in control of the pipeline. And that's really the end goal of that opportunity with that client. The Wi-Fi guys, that's a good opportunity. I'm looking forward to signing on as a partner with them. That could be a lot of where a lot of much of the source of my income for Q1 could end up coming from them. I'm just working out the legal side of setting up the LLC with the partners and the owners. Um, and then additionally to that, I'm launching my first subcontractor deal for a company called QTex AI. And that is an exciting opportunity, mostly as a progress point for my business in terms of moving beyond myself to embracing a subcontractor-based operation. So I think I've got the right people to try this out with, and I'm on the right track to get several of these set up every quarter, which will get me an arbitrage and income, and more importantly, have me in charge of an actual business versus just a solopreneur gig. So that's it for today. If you are pursuing some goals, you feel free to like mention them in the comments. I'd be happy to take a look and we can kind of do this together if you'd like. But this is just a personal thing for me for the time being. So you're welcome to join in or not. Thanks.